goes to that office. She's not ready now.
A very good afternoon to you and welcome to Radio Nigeria South South Zone News at 3. Sorry for coming behind schedule. The headlines: Akwa Ibom State Government approves reinstatement of 400 workers. But Harcourt High Court grants ex parte order to serve IGP on alleged murder of Dr. Ferry Gberegbere. Tanzanians alleged restrictions on social media as millions vote in general election. Today's commentary is on the need for special media salary scale to enhance productivity. The unity and peace of Nigeria is golden. Let's join hands for a better country. My name is Rachel Ona with the news. Now the news in full. The Akwa Ibom State Government has given approval for the reinstatement of the 400 workers who were delisted from the payroll in 2019 for allegedly getting into the service without due process. The chairman of Akwa Ibom State Local Government Commission, Mr. Monde Ayo, dropped the hint while meeting with youths of the 14 wards of Uyo local government area of the state. Correspondent Charles Bassi brings us the details. The Bayelsa State chapter of the Civil Liberties Organization has urged members of the public who have grievances on police brutality and other dehumanizing offenses meted out to them by security agencies to approach its newly constituted committee. The state CLO chairman, Chief Nengi James, stated this in Yenagoa shortly after inaugurating the organization's committee for the documentation of victims of human rights abuses and violation occasioned by police brutality. Members of the committee include David West, who is to serve as chairman, ABU Judge Secretary, Mrs. Roslyn Nyingimfa, member, Kenneth Okorodas, member, and Mr. M.M. Sunday, member. And co-opted as members are Comrade Morris Alagwa and Mr. Ebiseri Kumo Jason Bassa. Chief James recounting some of the incidences of police brutality recently leading to the NSAS protests, to include extrajudicial killings among others, urged members of the committee to do a thorough documentation of findings for onward transmission of the Independent Investigative Panel of National Human Rights Commission. Once chairman of the committee, Mr. David West, while maintaining that the CLO would defend the rights of all Nigerians, pledged the commitment of the committee in delivering on the task at hand. Secretary of the committee, Mr. Ebeyu George, who commended the CLO for setting up the committee, noted that with the caliber of professionals in the team, comprising lawyers, human rights defenders, among other key stakeholders, they would deliver on its mandate. Another member of the committee, Mrs. Roslyn Nyingimfa, representing the women, sued for the cooperation of the society in providing the information the committee needs to succeed. Other members pledged their commitment to ensuring the success of the task. High Court sitting in Port Harcourt has granted the ex parte order to serve Inspector General of Police, Police Service Commission, and the Nigerian Police on the alleged murder of Dr. Ferry Gberegbere during the 2019 elections in Rivers State. The presiding judge, Justice Monima Danagogo, granted the leave by Claimant's Counsel, Mr. Lezina Amegwa, to serve the first, fourth, and fifth defendant outside jurisdiction. Mr. Amegwa had approached the court to give him an ex parte order to serve the writ summons statements on claim, witness, statement of oaths, and other processes in the suit outside the jurisdiction of the court and of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Justice Danagogo, after granting the request, adjourned the matter to the 14th of December for hearing. The matter was earlier struck out by Justice Adolphus Enebeli on technical ground. Speaking to correspondent Awajis George outside the court, Mr. Amegwa explained why his client, who is the wife of the deceased, Mrs. Ronke Gberegbere, returned to court after the matter was struck out. The leave to serve the first, fourth, and fifth respondents. Delta State government is to spend over 60 billion naira for road infrastructure next year. Governor Ifeanyi Okowa stated this in Asaba while presenting the state 2021 appropriation bill of 378 billion and 48 million naira to the state's House of Assembly for consideration and approval. Governor Kowa said the appropriation bill, christened Budget of Recovery, has 207 billion and 52 million naira for capital expenditure and 171 billion and 32 million naira for recurrent expenditure. Explained that the allocations were consistent with the administration's agenda of spending more on projects and programs that would impact directly on socio-economic well-being of residents of the state. The Delta State Governor said the 2021 budget proposals reinforced the state government's commitment to road infrastructure, education, health, job and wealth creation programs. According to Governor Kowa, 23.5 billion naira was earmarked for education, 6.79 billion naira for health, 2.04 billion naira for agriculture, over 2 billion naira for job and wealth creation Bureau, as well as youth development, and 1.83 billion naira for water sector. Speaker of the Delta State House of Assembly, Chief Sheriff Obewori, restated the commitment of the House to pass the people-oriented and development-driven legislations. You're listening to Radio Nigeria South Zone News at 3. Here are stories in the bulletin so far. Akwa Ibom State Government approves reinstatement of 400 workers. Port Harcourt High Court grants ex parte order to serve IGP on alleged murder of Dr. Ferry Gberegbe. Still ahead, Tanzanians alleged restrictions on social media as millions vote in general elections. Plus business, entertainment, sports, and commentary. Do stay with us. You're welcome back. The news continues. This news, a Central Bank of Nigeria says the Purchasing Managers Index for manufacturing sector, which started contracting in May, recorded another contraction in October. The Statistics Department of CBN disclosed in its Purchasing Managers Index survey report for October that this contraction hit the 6th month. For details of this and more on business news, let's join Tony Ahigwe. And on the foreign scene, Tanzanians have reported that sites including WhatsApp and Twitter are being restricted as millions of people vote in the general election. There have also been reports of violence and that police arrested an opposition leader in the semi-autonomous archipelago of Zanzibar. President John Magufuli, whose party has governed Tanzania for decades, is seeking a second term in office. His main challenger is expected to be Tundu Lissu of the biggest opposition party, Chadema, who survived an assassination attempt 3 years ago. He returned from Belgium in July, where he had undergone rounds of treatment for gunshot wounds. In all, 15 candidates are running for president, including former Foreign Minister Bernard Membe. Results for the presidential and parliamentary elections are expected to be announced within 1 week. Elsewhere, hundreds of protesters marched through the U.S. city of Philadelphia for a second night, demanding racial justice after police fatality shot a black man. The family of Walter Wallace, 27, says he was suffering a mental health crisis when officers opened fire on him. Police say they shot him because he would not drop a knife he was holding. Police enforcement as well as the National Guard have been deployed. Authorities say 30 officers were hurt during the first night of clashes. The authorities say 30 officers were hurt. The city's police also accused protesters of looting and ransacking businesses during the unrest. Mr. Wallace had bipolar disorder, and his wife told officers this before they shot him. A lawyer representing his family said. Meanwhile, in Germany, it has been termed a lockdown light for November, while in France, a 4-week lockdown is expected, but less severe than in the spring. Chancellor Angela Merkel is set to decide with urged state leaders whether to shut bars, leisure centers, and hotels to halt the rise in infections. President Emmanuel Macron will give details of French measures later. COVID infections in Europe are almost as high as in the first wave, although testing now is more extensive. Night curfews are enforced in several countries. However, one French minister had complained that curfews affecting some 46 million people have failed to halt social interactions. Singer Burna Boy and Chris Martin of Coldplay performed their hit song Monster You Made at the 15th BET Hip Hop Awards. The song, which is from Burna Boy's Twice as Tall album, was performed with a live band with Chris Martin singing from a remote location. The song was dedicated to the Nigerians who lost their lives as a result of the brutality of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad SARS. At the end of the performance, Burna Boy said, "This is for Tiamiyu Kazim. This is for Kolade Johnson. This is for everyone that has lost their lives at the hands of SARS and all kinds of police brutality. End police brutality now and end profiling." Just as Nigerian comedian Emmanuel Iweke, popularly called Krazel Lorne, escaped a fatal car accident on his wife's birthday, the humor merchant took to his official Instagram account to share a video of life-threatening accident involving his silver-colored BMW, which is beyond recognition. While recording the car wreck after the auto accident, he said, "This is what I just survived. I just survived this. Oh my God, Jesus, God, you saved my life on my wife's birthday. I will tell the story later, but for now, just help me thank God." While giving further details about the auto crash, the funny man shared with his over 3.5 million followers on IG that someone died while playing the song Nara by Tim Godfrey. Meanwhile, Hollywood legend Arnold Schwarzenegger said he was feeling fantastic after undergoing a heart surgery over the weekend. The Austrian-born actor posted a picture of himself giving a thumbs up from his hospital bed at the Cleveland Clinic and thanked medical staff there. The Terminator star became one of the world's best-known action movie stars in the 1980s after a sterling career as a bodybuilder where he won Mr. Universe title and Mr. Olympia contest a record 7 times. Sports. Campaign for the Flying Eagles and Golden Eaglets hit a snag as 4 Nigerian referees get the nod to officiate AFCON qualifiers. Emeka Chime has the details. And now the commentary. Today's commentary is on the need for special media salary scale to enhance productivity, as written by Ima Njoku and read from our studio. That commentary on the need for special media salary scale to enhance productivity is written by Emmanuel Njoku and read from our studios by Mokwelola Oke. To end Radio Nigeria, South Zone News at 3, a recap of the major items. Akwa Ibom State Government has approved reinstatement of 400 workers who were delisted from the payroll in 2019. Port Harcourt High Court has granted ex parte order to serve IGP on alleged murder of Dr. Ferry Gweregwe. Tanzanians have alleged restrictions on social media as millions vote in general elections. That's the news as edited by Victory Isoni and the production team. My name is Rachel Ona. Thank you very much for listening. Good afternoon.